Oh, my bad. You know, there's something shady going on. For example, I was on the media call yesterday with David Lemieux, former 160-pound IBF champion. I'm going to upload. Well, actually, the call is here on the channel, but it's a live stream. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the actual call, and I'm going to upload clips from the call when he's talking about how he feels that he's going to get Canelo in September, right? So if you don't know, David Lemieux is fighting on the undercard of Canelo versus Chavez as the co-feature against a fighter by the name of Marcos Reyes. Marcos Reyes fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at a catch weight of 170 pounds, July of 2015, right? He lost a unanimous decision. Since then, he has gone 2-1. He took his first knockout loss in 2016, in November of 2016, and then won by TKO in his next fight, which was just a few weeks ago, March the 17th of 2017. Now he's fighting David Lemieux on the card of Canelo versus Chavez. But the way he was talking on the media call was like he knows that he's going to get Chavez. I mean, he knows that he's going to get Canelo. I got a chance to ask him a question about, well, you know, what's your prediction on the fight? Now, of course, he's going to say, you know, that, you know, Canelo's going to win. But does he really feel that way? Now, listen, I've noticed that David Lemieux, since losing to Golovkin, has gotten a little, you know, better. He's always been a straightforward pressure fighter. You know, very good going to the body. And he's not really a guy who's going out there who's going to try to jab your head off. But it's the fact that he's one-dimensional. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to see him versus Canelo. But at the same time, I don't want to see him versus Canelo over Golovkin. It doesn't make any sense to me. But as I said during a media call, he seems to, and even before that, he seems to feel like he's the #1 in the running to fight Canelo over Golovkin. Now, of course, you would think, well, why wouldn't the Golovkin fight happen? Well, you know, politics and money. Golovkin fought in March against Danny Jacobs. He went 12 rounds. The talk was that he was going to fight Billy Joe Saunders in June. A lot of people, and maybe Golovkin's team, was expecting for Danny Jacobs to get knocked out, but he didn't. So Golovkin went 12 rounds, and then we'll have to go take a week off and go right back into training camp, right, and do sparring and all that shit to fight Billy Joe Saunders for the WBO title to be undisputed. Remember, Golovkin has the WBC that Canelo gave to him, by the way, the WBA, Super World, which is right now the only WBA title at 160, and the IBF, which he won from David Lemieux back in 2015 on Golovkin and David Lemieux's first pay-per-view. You know, so now I'm wondering, what's Golovkin going to do if he doesn't get, you know, Canelo in September? You know, does he go right after Billy Joe Saunders? Because Billy Joe Saunders is in a tough spot. Because I'm going to be doing a video on that soon where Billy Joe Saunders paid step-aside money to Langford and Kurt Cedes. I got to get the direct person he paid step-aside money to for the WBO to create an interim title for those two fighters to fight this weekend, April the 22nd, on Box Nation and BT Sports. We're going to be providing full coverage for that fight. Right now, it's April the 19th. Actually, it's April the 20th now because it's after midnight. April the 20th, 2017. You know, so it's a weird and complex, you know, scenario. But now we're in a situation where you really can't predict what's going to happen, especially if Chavez Jr. upsets Canelo. Where does that leave David Lemieux and Golovkin? You know, Chavez Jr. will be holding all the cards. So if you don't know, I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. When there's media calls between these fighters, we're going to be live streaming them, and uploading them, because during these media calls, you get a lot of good quality information. Also, going forward in the future, we're making a lot of technical advancements. We're going to be going full 1080p soon. We're shooting right now in 720p. We're going to be going full 1080p soon. We're getting the old school wood panels taken down. We're going for a professional studio feel. That's going to be done sometime in the next 5 weeks once I get time. I'm still building you know, the brand FightView 360 and the website, you know, FightView360.com, and of course just revamping and rehauling, you know, the channel T Street Controversy. Also on that undercard is it's going to be Canelo versus Chavez, Lemieux versus Reyes, Lucas Matthysse versus Emmanuel Tranzformer Taylor. You may know Taylor from fighting Chris Algieri and most recently, even though it wasn't recent, Adrian Broner. You know, so we're going to do a whole video on Matthysse versus Taylor soon. But, you know, as I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the call from David Lemieux, Lucas Matthysse, and I'm going to upload those parts of him talking about Canelo and how he feels that he may be in the running, especially if he beats Marcos Reyes on the undercard to get Canelo. After all, you have to think about the timing. They are putting him on the undercard of Canelo versus Chavez to get that fan buzz going, so then fans can say, oh, the guy who fought on Canelo undercard is going to be fighting Canelo, for the casuals who don't know who David Lemieux is. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live with the links to my social media right down below in the description box. Please subscribe.